Hello and welcome to another installment of Liberty Nation's Swamponomics videocast. I am Andrew Moran, Ellen's economics correspondent. Each week, I dive into the morass of top economic news stories and fish out compelling narratives, or I retrieve fallacies that have been accepted as conventional wisdom by the swamp creatures for years. This week, Afghanistan, a $2 trillion sunk cost. Afghanistan has captured the international 24/7 news cycle for President Joe Biden's mishandling of the scheduled withdrawal from the war-torn country. But as the White House, talking heads, and Republicans and Democrats offer their insights on what went wrong, there is one thing that has not been talked about as much in the marketplace of hot takes: the enormous price tag for this 20-year war. In addition to the thousands of lives lost in Afghanistan, the two-decade-old war has cost American taxpayers approximately $2 trillion. The U.S. spent about $1 trillion in combat operations, $144 billion on reconstruction efforts, $36 billion on governance, another $4 billion per year to fund the nation's armed forces, and $500 billion in interest payments on war borrowing. The U.S. government has also spent close to $300 billion on the brave veterans' healthcare needs. But experts estimate that this will eventually surge to $2.5 trillion when factoring lifetime care and disability benefits. The two-decade-old war has also led to a vast amount of waste, fraud, and abuse of your tax dollars. The most recent Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction report concluded that U.S. officials had been, quote, pouring too much money too quickly into a country too small to absorb it. The watchdog has been providing hundreds of instances of waste since it was founded in 2008. As Liberty Nation recently reported, billions of dollars have been squandered in some of the most egregious ways, including $500,000 on buildings that melted in the rain and close to $8 million on an empty industrial park. Like every other war, a mix of bureaucrats, contractors, and foreign officials see an opportunity to take a little bit of the pie. Indeed, $500,000 out of $2 trillion might not seem much, but as the old adage goes, watch the pennies and the dollars will follow. In other words, what other examples of waste will a watchdog uncover, especially if the United States really ends this nation-building exercise, this foreign adventure that has gone on so long that a soldier who was first deployed to Kabul or Kandahar in 2001 could see his son or daughter become eligible to serve in this seemingly never-ending conflict. Put simply, anytime there's $1 million spent to support a fragile government or $10 million to construct a building nobody asked for, it is a slap in the face of the 2,500 troops who perished or the 1,100 Allied military personnel who lost their lives. In the end, it is an important question to ask. What did the United States get for the $100 million per day it spent? The Afghan military is unsustainable. The Taliban is back in power. The United States government will likely have a perpetual war in this region for many more years to come, and China is making a play in Kabul. In economics, a sunk cost is a price that has already been incurred and cannot be recovered. Afghanistan is one of the greatest examples of a sunk cost, and like in business, sunk costs are generally not factored into making future decisions. That said, it is unlikely that politicians, today or tomorrow, will consider the lives and trillions lost in a situation that had been deteriorating since the late 1970s. That's it for me this week. Please read my full Swamponomics column, where I discuss American women not having children, Trudeau's indifference to monetary policy, and so much more. Thank you.
Who are we? We are Americans that believe in liberty. We are a project of the nonprofit One Generation Away. We are patriots who apply the founding principles to the issues of today.
And they keep moving the goalposts on us.
We are educators and commentators who love America and the Constitution. Who are we? We are Liberty Nation.